This is why people came to the Muscle Nomads. They want to know about the Increlex.
Everyone wants to know about it. We should have started with this.
No. But I'll put in the title, right? Increlex update. And that's how Muscle Nomads Increlex update. That's right there.
We'll make a reel out of this next. Right.
Exactly.
Does Increlex work?
Yes.
Look, see, I'm a little bit downsized from last time, so I'll give you a chance.
Yeah. All right, let's get started. Muscle Nomads, we're back.
What's up?
With Aaron.
What's up? How's it going, guys?
Before we get started, this is on discount, 30% off. Code Aaron or Steve, whatever you prefer. This will not happen again for a very long time. So if you like Gorilla Mode, the regular pre-workout, not nitric, that might come at one point or another. If you want 30% off, the discount is up until Wednesday, right? Tomorrow.
30%.
Yeah.
You ain't going to see that again.
Yeah. If you want to be as big as him, you're going to need this one.
7 scoops.
Yeah. Fuck. 1.5. Not medical advice. How have you been, man?
Good. Natty.
You Natty, yeah. For how many days?
8 days. I'm wasting away.
Oh, no, God.
Wasting away.
How much size did you lose?
Well, including the food poisoning, then I lost in total, about 7 kilograms.
Oh.
Without the food poisoning, about 5. So we're talking, 10, 12 pounds of water dropping and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's all good. I look pretty good. I feel good. Still strong. So yeah, am I actually natty? No, of course not.
No.
Of course not.
So what's the plan? Like you want to clean out or something? Did your blood work terrible? Are you trying to get your wife pregnant? Did you tear a muscle? What's going on, Aaron?
Everything's good.
Okay.
I'm just decided I'm going to transition. Because
to female?
Yeah, that's the trending thing right now. I feel like I want 2 or 3 extra pronouns. So I'm going to transition and I'm going to do another class, maybe wellness or something.
All right. Yeah. Well, you got the booty for it. So, yeah. Grow your hair out. Hide your back.
I'm keeping the mustache though.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't have to choose the
appropriate... Might as well, yeah. Yeah, it.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, you can go with it.
That'll do. That's fine. Cousin it. But yeah, so the plan is essentially something I've never done before. So with me, curiosity. I'm as curious as a bloody cat and it'll probably kill me one day. But I've done things that we know work. Since we started working together, we've done various different experiments and cycles and plans and diets and training strategies, etc., etc. I know exactly what works for me. I know exactly what builds muscle. Since May, we've just done the kind of rough math on that, but since May, the leanest I was in prep to now, which is 12, 13 weeks later, probably picked up somewhere in the realm, I would say 10 pounds would be, I think, conservative if I was being a little bit kind to myself in my Instagram posts and supplement promotions. Then I would probably say like 15, 16 pounds. Right. But realistically, probably about 10, 12 pounds. Yeah. So in that time, though, 12, 13 weeks, 10, 12 pounds, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. That's epic gains. So I know very well that, the long cycles, the approach that we usually run, that runs is proven test time and time again, good hard training, food, blah, blah, blah. And that's with a basic caloric surplus. Like the highest I pushed it is 4,600, which is pathetic.
For your size, yeah. You need to eat more.
And I reached 131 kilograms.
Yeah. All drugs.
Like, ridiculous.
All drugs. Forget about food, man.
5 grams of everything.
Yeah.
But, it
was a budget chase iron cycle.
It was a budget chase iron cycle. So, yeah, decided this time to push some dosages and test some things that I've not tested before. Stuff we already spoke about in the last podcast. If you haven't watched that, watch that. But yeah, essentially the test went up to 1250. Felt fine, felt great, no issues. Libido was sky high, strength was really good, no side effects, all good. Don't really aromatize that aggressively anymore, so no issues. And everything that went alongside that, pretty standard as usual. Nothing changed, just the test moved up. Did the 20 RUs of growth experiment for a good while there. Fine, full as a house. Felt pretty good.
Your wallet was empty, though.
My wallet was a little bit dented. Yes, it was.
But fell out of your pocket and ran away.
It just sprinted.
Fuck this.
My wallet turned into Usain Bolt and went, fuck you.
Out the door.
Gone.
Yeah. But a missing wallet report out, right?
Yeah, I've just given up on it. It's free now. It's free. But yeah, so all of that went great. Felt great. No issues, no side effects. Blood work was great. We did the bloods on the IV We went straight into the vein with the growth to test the growth and make sure it was good. That was with the UGL growth as well.
Did you ever post that video?
No. I will. I'll do it.
No, it's outdated now.
Huh?
It's outdated now.
No,
You got to go again.
I'll
go again in 2 weeks before I go to the US. You can join. We'll do some more IV experiments.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was fine. I've still got all that data, so I just need to prepare a video so you can all see it. But essentially, yeah, I think pushing the test high, pushing the growth high. I hit 131 was the peak. Felt good. Could still see my abs. All good.
You see what the pounds on that is. Keep talking.
Well, from what you want to know from what I was in prep to 131?
No, what 131 is in pounds.
290 something? About 290, I think.
131. 288.8.
Close enough.
Close enough. You need another, how much is 300 pounds? Man, it's been a while.
140.
136.
136, is it? For 300 pounds?
Yeah. That's what the calculator says. You got to eat more food, bro.
Easy. I'll smash that. So if plans go well, that I'll hit 136 without even trying. So if I hit 131 really without trying very hard as far as the food, and everything else was, like, blood pressure was always in check, blood sugar was always in check, never had any insulin resistance, nothing. Everything felt great.
And that's on good. 20 IUs of growth.
This is on 20 IUs of growth, and I could still put my own socks on. I could still get my dick hard.
And we're demonetized.
Shit. People beat that bit out.
Yeah.
Or just feel like, what did you put? Eggplant emoji?
Yeah, put eggplant emoji, yeah.
Everything was great. No issues, as usual. But curiosity gets the best of me, and I'm always looking at things and researching different things and different approaches. And until I really, because I've got a long time this off season to grow. So what most people would probably say is, well, if it's working, why not just stick with that and make epic gains over the next 6, 8, 12 months?
No, we're in the off season. That's the time to experiment.
Now is the time.
You need to figure it out for the next prep, you know?
100% right. If you never try, you never know. And I don't want to be in a position where I'm always thinking, could that potentially be even better than what I'm doing now? But instead of thinking like that, just test it in a nice controlled, proper testing environment. Collect the data, tick the box, cross the box, whatever happens, yes or no, and then I can move forward with more confidence in the approach that I'm using.
Right.
So that's it. So that's what I'm doing. So I decided I'm going to clear out and I'm going to completely come off of everything for a good 6 weeks. And I'm going to test out really how responsive the idea of androgen receptor sensitivity downregulation is. Now, we know that when we put gear in, androgen activity goes up, happy days, all good things happen. After 4 to 6 weeks, there's a lot of data to show that androgens downregulate over time and things start to plateau a little bit.
You're doing the wrong research, but that's okay.
Well, this is why I want to test these things, because one guy says this, one guy says that. So I know what you'll say. You'll say androgen half-life every 8 hours.
8.5, yeah.
Right, so that gives us enough androgen receptors, but the sensitivity of those receptors is what I want to say. Well, this is what we'll test. So,
what happens in the first 4 to 6 weeks is people are very motivated, and the reason why progress stalls is because the fullness is returned completely.
Right.
So all the anabolic pathways, right, the gene transcription and the epigenetic adaptations that you get on cycle have now been restored.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you go back on cycle, the first 4 to 6 weeks, you get strong, super fast, but not more stronger than the previous time. You get full, super fast, but not fuller than the previous time, in which you are going to experience for yourself the next time. And then you slowly start to grow muscle tissue again at the same rate you were previously, but cosmetically it looks less impressive because you've been holding that size a little bit longer. So, but feel free to do it. So it's good to come off regardless.
First 6 to 8 sort of weeks, that muscle accrual and that fullness and everything is, you're in a stupidly anabolic state, right? No. Everything's climbing.
You're recovering what you lost.
I'm already recovering.
Yeah.
But then getting back in is putting myself from a more sensitive starting position. Is there going to be more muscle gains there? Well, this is the thing. This is the whole point in testing it, right? Is am I going to gain in that 6 to 8 weeks the muscle that I would in a much shorter time? Will I gain a good chunk of muscle and maintain body composition and all of that stuff, and milk that window of time?
So after 4 weeks, you'll be 131, and then after 2 or 4 weeks on top of that, you'll be 133.
So the goal is a pound a day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
All right. Do you want to talk with Tony how well that played out for those guys?
No, I'm not doing a mass blast. I won't be doing a mass blast. That's not what I'm talking about. In case you're wondering, is Aaron going to do a mass blast? No. Absolutely not. No, I'm not going to do a mass blast. This is purely just to test how much does that extra sensitivity resensitizing androgen receptors, is there much to be said for that? I don't know because I've never done it, so I'm going to test it out. Simple as that.
Right. Might as well give it
also, I've never come off. I've cruised plenty of times, make sure blood's everything's good, and then I'm back on.
You think 6 weeks is coming off?
Well, to get back down to natural serum test, concentration levels is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to drop back down to around about 1,000.
I'm gonna throw some money at this challenge. I want to see after 10 weeks off.
No way. I'm not going to joke. 6 weeks is pushing it. 8 days is hard enough.
How about I throw $1,000 at this challenge?
No, I'm not doing 2 weeks. 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
I fucking knew it.
If after 6 weeks I'm still holding on to this somewhere between 120, 123 is kind of what I'm going to try and maintain with this level of body fat. Training right now is through the roof, even though I'm off, which is great. So if I can maintain this.
But aren't you still on Increlex though?
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. That doesn't count. I don't think.
No, I'm on Increlex still, so it doesn't count. I mean,
this is another benefit of this experiment. Even though I gained
4 kilos back.
So this is another benefit. So I'll be able to tick a few of these boxes and just in the back of my mind say, this is worth it. No, this isn't worth it. Blah, blah, blah. I already know the long cycles work well for me, so I can confirm that. It's fine. If it plateaus a little bit and the return of investment is a little less as time goes on, it's still there. You're still making gains, even if it does slow down. It's just
what I think you want to do? You just want to get your weight low enough so you can go to the theme park and fit into those rides.
I've already, that ship is sailed.
Way past that.
Last time I went to a water park, they made me sign a waiver.
You probably destroyed all their rides.
In China. I went to a water park in China and they said, you're going to have to sign this because if you die, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I want to go on the rides.
Why not? Yeah.
If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out on one of those whirly ones.
Yeah. Upside down. Yeah. Flipping through the world.
Flying through the air.
Oh, yeah. I could have totally seen that. Yeah.
Worth it. That would be the way to go.
All right. So 6 weeks.
6 weeks off, resensitized, back in. Now, when I come back in, there's a couple of other things that
Are you going to be a man and fast for 5.5 days?
I've already fasted.
I fasted recently. Food poisoning doesn't count.
No, before that, I did a 3 day.
Okay.
3 days enough for me. I can't do your 5 day thing.
Come on, dude. I feel nice and clean on the inside.
Dude, it's torture.
What if I told you, pure bro science, that fasting is the key for androgen receptor sensitivity?
If it was total bro science or Steve science?
Steve science, 100%.
I'll totally do it.
Okay, cool. Cool. But it only works if you come off for 10 weeks.
But you've got to make a really convincing video about it first with some cool pop-ups and emojis and stuff.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. I'll tell my editor to whip something up.
So there's just a few things I want to test out, and I think it's really important to experiment, tick a few boxes for yourself, and just so you can confidently move forward, knowing that is this other method potentially, basically short cycles cycles versus long cycles is what I'm getting at, right? And
Tyne Clark is having a blast at this.
Yeah, well, I've been talking with him a lot about it.
You're trying to fucking poach my friends. Great work.
So I reached out to Tian because obviously he's a big proprietor of this stuff, right? And
it shit works though.
He's a smart guy. He's a great guy. He's a great researcher. So if I'm going to ask someone about this stuff, of course he's going to be one of the go-to guys, right? It'd be silly not to.
Are you going to do a Deca-only cycle when you get back on?
Well, it's another option. Fuck. This is another option where I'm thinking...
Tyne, we could have a word, bro.
This is another option where I'm like, if you never know, you never try. If you never try, you never know.
I got a bottle of Deca in the fridge.
Well, if I do decide to do that, it's going to be MPP. I'll do short esters.
Right,
so if it doesn't work, I can pull it and put the test back in. So yeah, that's potentially another option to try out while I'm in experimentation mode. Why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Why not?
There's nothing to lose. There's everything to gain. So that's kind of the way I see it. So a few little experiments, and in the meantime, in this little 6 weeks off, I have no other input apart from Increlex, so I can really see how well Increlex works solo.
Yeah.
So far, epic endurance and strength gains.
This is why people came to the Muscle Nomads. They want to know about the Increlex gains.
Everyone wants to know about it. We should have started with this.
No. But the I'll put in the title, right? Increlex update. And that's how Muscle Nomads Increlex update. That's right there.
We'll make the reel out of this next.
Exactly.
Does Increlex work?
Yes.
Yes. So Increlex, how well does it work? Does it make you absolutely jacked? Will it make you look like Ronnie Coleman? Probably not. But what it does do, as I noticed, big endurance and strength gains.
Mm-hmm.
I feel in the gym like, holy shit, I can do a lot.
Feels like everything is there in the muscle already. And then you get off the machine at higher intensity, more rep ranges, more time under tension. And I'm not out of breath at all anymore.
No, my recovery is very fast and my pumps are great. Mm-hmm. So I think, does it facilitate a lot of anabolism? And does it facilitate?
I think it just shuttles all the nutrients in, and in that sense, it's more effective than insulin. Again, this is all anecdotal experience that I'm going through the scientific literature. It compared to insulin and high dosages of growth, it seems that this kind of facilitates all the nutrients in there, but also helps with the excretion of metabolic waste products because soreness is down. Metabolic activity is increased, right? Mm-hmm. Again, not out of breath during sets. And that's, with continuous intake of these kinds of pre-workouts with L-citrulline and beta-alanine. And
shuttling everything
in, right?
Just sucking everything
But that hasn't changed. The only thing that we added was the Increlex. And then within 3-4 days, you notice that your stamina has been increased so much and you're walking in between sets and you're like, it's like the set didn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's not like we train like sissies.
No, we're going balls to the wall, everything to failure all the time.
No. I keep a couple of reps in reserve, but fuck, dude. I have no
reps in reserve.
Yeah.
All right, Mike's retail, bloody
Yeah, I know, terrible. But I have no recovery aids in place.
You're good. A couple reps in reserves for you are still most people's failure.
Yeah. Probably.
But yeah, it does have that kind of, anecdotally, those effects.
Mm-hmm.
Is it building any actual muscle?
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell because I was running a bunch of growth. Yeah. And I was running high test.
Mm-hmm.
My food was pretty standard throughout the whole way. So now is a good time to...
But did you gain any body fat? And did you gain any size during this time?
Yes. No body fat.
No body fat.
I hit 131 at pretty not much body fat.
No.
I think most of it is water.
I think you look leaner though.
Dude, because I've just come off of everything. So within a very short time,
you came off.
all the water that's come off.
Mm-hmm.
And the fullness and that bit of a pop.
I think you look better now.
I'm pretty fucking lean right now. Mm. And there's no way fat burns that quickly. So the only thing that's come off is water. So if I compare before and after, I'm like, did I actually gain any fat in that whole time going from what was essentially, 120 from the end of prep, a little bit of a
now
time
we're talking
of
about
resting.
the Increlex gains now.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember timelines. So it was like 115, 16 up to about the 123. 123 is where we started the growth input and things like that. And then at sort of 126, pushed to 131 was the Increlex. So that's when that kind of went in. So I think
basically 5-6 kilos without fat gain.
Yeah, but how much of it was
fullness? Of course,
a lot of it was real, real muscle. We're talking about. It's really hard to say. So now taking everything out and just leaving the Increlex, pushing my food, and my training is extremely good output right now.
Well, your strength increased in your
and
your reps.
So if I pick up any muscle in the next 6 weeks, there's only the Increlex to thank for it. So hopefully we get some results to show for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I would say it's a really good performance enhancer, but bloody expensive one.
Yeah. Well, when you compare it, so you compare price. Well, of course, we can't go into actual pricing because we might be a little bit more luxury off than other people that are paying for their Increlex, if they can even find it.
If you can find it, yeah.
But let's say you run a milligram.
Stop messaging me.
Yeah, stop
messaging me. Oh, bro, send me a contact. No, it's all gone.
No, yeah, it's all used.
Did it all.
Yeah, it's all finished.
I got enough for this next little.
You have to take like a pint of blood from here and then filter out the Increlex that's still present.
Yeah.
So when you compare it, let's say you run 500 micrograms, which is what we're both running, right? 500 micrograms a day with occasional 1 milligram, just to experiment. If you compare that to a growth hormone dose, let's say it's 6 IUs. Do you feel you get better response from the Increlex at 500 micrograms compared to 6 IUs of growth hormone?
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So maybe instead of 20 IUs of growth, you can run only 14, and then put the IGF-1, the Increlex on top and get more anabolism out of it.
Wait, but you say only 14 IUs of growth?
No, you were running 20, right? So you cost
only in that same sentence.
Yeah, well, that's right.
But I see what
we're
you're
going
getting
from 20 to 14, right?
So we dropped the cost of 6. you're left with 14.
Yeah, you
on
spend
top
the
of
same
Increlex.
amount, but you get more. You get a wider selection of performance-enhancing drugs. So now you have a fat dose of GH, but not as fat as before, and then Increlex on top. I think you get a better response for the same amount of money with the GH and the Increlex. I would say.
I wouldn't even bother running growth that high.
Yeah, that's what the other guys also told me. So
Honestly, I would just
6 IUs, 8 IUs, yeah.
6 to 8 alongside
So
the
guys, when you hear an IFBB pro say that they only use 6 IUs or 8 IUs of growth hormone, that's code for I'm on Increlex also.
If they can get it, or they're just on high growth.
I mean, a lot of IFBB pros have reached out over the last couple of weeks.
Have they?
Yeah.
I would say the vast majority.
Not to buy, but to share their experience.
The ones that can't get it, I would say they're running high growth, especially the guys that are getting bigger and staying in great shape. That's one thing I noticed with the high growth is I was getting bigger and body composition was staying in a good spot.
Yeah, or getting better.
Is high growth hormone really great for recomping? Yeah. Is it a really expensive way to recomp? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, pros and cons all the time, right? Would I go that high with growth hormone again? Honestly, I think I would rather just stretch my timelines, run a good 8 units, and that would be all right. If I could get my hands on a bit of Increlex every now and then to throw a little cherry on top, sure.
Oh,
is it necessary?
I'll stock up if there's more to come.
But I mean,
I don't mind.
I always try to really think like, if you've got FU money and you're like, sure, stock it up, why not? Then sure, why not? If it's like, if you're looking after your expenses a little bit more carefully, I don't think I would bother. To be honest, I'm going to make the same gains. Maybe it'd take me a couple extra months to make the gains.
I think for a guy like you, because you have a good genetic response to these performance-enhancing drugs, right? And we see how much you grow anyway.
Yeah.
I think instead of putting on a certain amount of muscle in 5 years, I could think you can do it in 2.5, 3 with these PEDs on top, but the expenses would be significantly higher.
Yeah.
So that means if you're in a rush, if there's a limited time frame that you can do it, which to be fair, you're a little bit older, so there is. But then again, you can keep going until you're 40, because you don't have so many bodybuilding years in you yet.
Yeah, I've only got 5.
Yeah.
So I've got loads of time to play around, but I still have the ultimate weapon to add to the mix.
DNP?
Not DNP. Food, bruh.
Food, yeah.
Dude, I still haven't pushed food high. I pushed food high once for a couple of months, and I did get good growth.
Yeah.
But have I actually really pushed food high for a prolonged period of time and really milked that? No. So I still have the ultimate anabolic weapon of food. So food with some Slim, of course. Slim break. I think that's going to be the biggest factor in me growing. All these other things to add in, sure, nice little top-ups and stuff like that. Is it sustainable at these high dosages cost-wise long-term?
No.
If you're minted.
Health-wise.
If you're minted. Health-wise, I haven't seen any negatives, personally, me.
Right.
Well, other people, maybe 20 IUs might free your blood pressure through the roof. I don't know.
I'm sure, yeah.
But I do also think that the quality of your growth hormone plays a big factor there, because I did notice, I didn't really suffer from any side effects, to be honest. I mean, you get the carpal tunnel and stuff like that. You obviously, there's a good chunk of water added on. But what I did notice that the water was intracellular. Yeah. For sure. I wasn't walking around like a giant water balloon. I felt good, full. I could still see some abs. And I was my morning fasted look was always
it was solid. Yeah, it was
really good.
Yeah. Plus, you get used to the water. It seems to dissipate over time, though. I feel that you increment the growth hormone upwards, you get additional water retention, and then maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks later, the water retention is significantly less.
Also, the water's not a bad thing, is it?
No, it's in the muscle, then it's okay.
Yeah, good water, a good amount of water in your body. Your body's, everything works better. You train better. Your muscle protein synthesis is better. Your body, you're just more anabolic in a hydrated state. Yeah. So a little bit of water retention, don't panic.
Right.
You don't want to be dry all the time. You ain't growing if you're dry all the time.
No, you're probably tearing shit apart also.
Probably,
That's the way we train.
Sure.
But so as long as you get your morning selfie in, you walk to the bathroom mirror, you're like, yeah, it's still good. All right. As long as you know that in the back of your head, and then don't check yourself in the evening because it might be a little bit worse. But
oh no, that's one thing I noticed. But before going to bed, I don't even want to look at myself. That was gone on high growth.
Oh, really?
And even on when I brought the growth down and then kept the Increlex in before bed, 6 meals in, bursting full as a house, looking awesome.
That's right. Yeah,
that was nice. So your body composition never really suffers.
No, I got the same thing on Increlex, even though I started retaining a little bit more water than before. But, I was...
good water.
It's good water, a little bit in the face, but, it's all muscle fullness, basically. I started taking my Increlex before bed.
Oh, yeah. Because you were getting drowsy, right?
I was getting a little bit drowsy during the day. I mean, you noticed the same thing,
I didn't notice it, yeah.
So
manageable, but...
So I moved my growth hormone, my whopping 2.4 IUs of growth hormone to before bed, and 500 micrograms Increlex. And then I sleep like a baby, crazy dreams. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Microdose dreams.
Sleep's been awesome.
Yeah. And then you wake up and you're good. You take a little bit of coffee and get your day started. But when I was there, yeah, exactly. And then, but before I was using Increlex pre-workout, you get a nasty pump, right? Your chest is all the way here, like man boobies for sure.
Yeah.
And that's now gone away. The mega pump. It's still a good pump, but less. But afterwards, I would usually work for another 4 to 5 hours, and then I feel like too sleepy to really get productive. Because I start preparing for the next day. So, unfortunately, I'm busy as fuck, so I had to move the Increlex before bed. But for fat loss, which is one of the reasons why I'm taking it now, it's been actually quite good. So every day I wake up leaner with a better body composition, better fullness, and that fullness is sustained towards the end of the week because I'm in a caloric deficit, quite a steep one, to prep for the Mr. Olympia. And at least I can look somewhat impressive, right? So nobody is going to be like, Steve, you're so much smaller.
No, Steve got a special invite.
Yeah.
He's competing.
No. Yeah, the most muscular online guru seminar, man.
Guest posing,
yeah. So at least prepping for that, looking somewhat, knowing what I'm talking about. But it's been good, the changes so far. And the strength is there, and stamina boost is a warm welcome. Yeah. So, obviously not as much as what I mentioned in the performance enhancing drug or the endurance PED deep dive. But I think Increlex needs to be added to that list of actual endurance inducers.
I think it's one of them, like, is it completely sort of one of these bunk, like, it doesn't actually do anything, drugs? Absolutely not. It 100% works. How much it works based on how long you're using it for, your food intake. I think there's just so much to consider, what else you're taking. But hopefully in the next 5 weeks of being Natty and only having that in, I'd like to see a little bit of at least really good composition at the same weight. Then we can definitely confirm that it's another epic recomp drug.
I think it just facilitates fullness more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, Anadrol gives you fullness, obviously, but it also gives you water retention. And this gives you the fullness and the muscle contractions of being on Anadrol, Anavar, Trenbolone at the same time without running that.
Yeah, the pumps are good.
Yeah, so the pumps are good. The contraction is crazy. At the end of the day, you feel nice and full.
Yeah.
And then if you're in caloric deficit, at one point it starts to kind of mess with your head. Where you feel, I'm not full enough, I feel flat, I'm not going to have a good workout. But I think this takes that completely off the table. And this is why some of these IFBB pros are raving about it so much, because you have to get super flat from a glycogen standpoint to really burn that last little bit of fat from your body, right? Get nicely shredded. But I think this kind of prevents that from happening. Not the flatness, but you having this mental breakdown where you look in the mirror and like, I can't see my muscle, can't flex my muscle anymore. So you train harder, you're more motivated. And ultimately, that results in a better response, when you step on stage, because you had an easy prep.
I wonder if this is a commonly used thing in preps or the back end of preps.
Oh, yes. If it's available. That's why sometimes you see these differences between guys. One year, they look absolutely full, bursting out of their skin. And then the next year, they're the same conditioning. But they had a rough prep because one of the PEDs that they usually use is not available because there's a limited supply of these kinds of stuff. So the smart ones, they stock up and they have it ready for the next year because, again, the expiration date is like 3 to 4 years. So you just keep it in your fridge for when you need it. And then before if you have 2 more preps laying around and then by the time you're almost finishing your stock, you already start sourcing. That would be my recommendation for guys who have access to it. Because you see the differences between some guys, or they switch from one coach to the next. One coach might have a hookup, or they switch to a coach who has a hookup, and then the physical changes are so apparent. And it might have to do with sourcing as well, not necessarily the protocols that changes.
Honey,
allegedly everybody has a hookup, right? So
allegedly, I don't know. I always think, what's the thing? What is this person using compared to that person? Who knows, right? We'll never really know. But essentially, I think, at the back end of a prep, when you go so flat, you just lose all the pumps. You have to go to you're training, you're just training for training.
Right.
There's no pump, there's no connection.
There's no fun. Yeah.
It's just boring. You're just getting through it.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it could just carry you through that whole part.
Exactly. Yeah.
Of like, yes, you're still burning fat, your composition's still getting better, but you still at least got some pumps and you feel good and it's maintaining a bit of fullness.
Yeah, so you feel more motivated. Right.
Keep you mentally like really driven to land the plane as such.
And to be fair to the pros that I talked to, they said that the muscle density, right, and the hardness is significantly different at the end of prep compared to not running Increlex. But that's only the couple guys that reached out. So again, some of these guys will take this to the grave.
Next year, when I do a prep, we'll test it then as well.
Yeah, we'll test it.
We'll test it. We'll stock up and we'll test it in an actual prep.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be able to give some prep feedback.
Right.
But in an off-season growing situation, does it facilitate some sort of nice, growing? Sure, it does. Is it going to help you pack on 20 pounds of muscle really, really quickly? Probably not.
Probably not.
Not unless you've got everything in place for a good long period of time.
Right. You have to do everything correctly. I mean, I'm running Increlex now. And I'm still eating, but, my entire performance-enhancing drink cocktail is Increlex. And that's it. Yeah. And I'm not making these stellar gains. Yeah. I got some fullness out of it. Did I get strength? Yes. The endurance boost, obviously. But am I packing on the size? No.
I mean, I've packed on some frigging good muscle since May. Since the end of that show, the end of prep to now. Some quality muscle. And I've never gained this much size and stayed in shape.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
And I think because you stay in shape and you're not just a bloated water balloon with high blood pressure, looking like shit, feeling depressed because you look like shit because you push your food too high and you're just a water balloon. Because you look good and you still feel good and the pumps are good throughout that whole period, that will produce the side effect of muscle growth.
Right.
So you just look better, you feel better, you train better, you're able to still move, you can still put your own socks on, all of these kinds of things. So I think it just facilitates a much better environment for your body to build muscle. Does it directly build muscle? Or maybe a little bit, but
it does, I'm sure.
But is it like one of them, like if I just add this, all of a sudden I'm going to be 10 pounds bigger with muscle?
No. I think everything else needs to be in place first.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything else needs to be in place first. It's not like you throw in trend and you start magically gaining size, at the expense of your blood work. That's why you can do everything wrong on train and make phenomenal gains, especially if you're a newbie. That's why this 30-day trend challenge is out there. But I think I
still think people are quite underwhelmed, really. Unless you're really lean and you're training like a beast and you can see the results of trend, most people are underwhelmed. They're like, I can feel it. I'm training really good. But they're like, why am I not looking like Wolverine?
It takes a couple cycles, right?
I think you just got to be lean enough to really see it. Same as Winchell, right? Yeah, Winchell's great if you're lean enough.
Right. Then you see the difference. Same as Halo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. You'll feel these things, but will you see it? Which is essentially what people want. They just want to see it. They don't care most people don't care how they feel, do they? They want to see it. I care how I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Most people I just want abs. I just want abs, veiny, horrible abs.
You can get that without drugs.
Exactly, right. And everything we've just said. You can, getting it without drugs is boring, though.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Well, after you've tried drugs, then it sucks, Yeah. That's why my training is not as fun until I added in the Increlex, because I was, cruising on Natty, or close to it, for 8 months, and then you kind of get bored. That's why it's so addictive, this shit.
But it's why it's fun to experiment these things as well. I was just on the edge of just committing to structured, planned, everything moving forward for the next sort of 6 to 8 months and really lock into this off season.
Right.
And just this couple of little things in the back of my head. And I'm like, nope, this is the perfect time for experimentation. I can still grow throughout these experiments. Everything makes sense. Everything is validated. Everything has its purpose. Will it work as good as what I've done before? Will it be the same? Whatever. We'll find out.
Let's see if at worst you lose 10 weeks.
Right,
because the muscle mass will come back in like 2 or 3 weeks on cycle. So
the muscle memory, the comeback will be epic. I reckon I reached 131 fairly easily. A big focus this time round is going to be, maybe different compound use, maybe the sensitivity, the rebound back in and all of that. Hopefully all of this plays a role. And then the food will be pushed. I've got to push my food. I hate eating, but I've got to do it.
Yeah.
But I reckon I'll hit 135, piece of piss.
I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I can be 125 in 6 months if I wanted to.
Yeah, I think the muscle memory and everything, I think my body is just in a position where 135, 140, I'm just under 6 foot. Easy.
I think 140 would do. You walk around for 6 months in the Thai heat, but you'll be in Spain, right?
In April next year.
Yeah.
Still got a good stretch.
You'll be 135, I think. That's for sure.
I'll be 135 before the end of the year. For sure. Mm-hmm. And I'll still hopefully have that same body composition as 131. Mm-hmm. So again, that will just reinforce, like, if your body composition is always consistent or better, and your weight just keeps going up, there's muscle. You are accruing words, accruing some really good muscle there. So either way, whatever experiments and things I'm trying, the whole time I'm building muscle. And I've just confirmed that in just the last 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So just keep going.
So are you going to the Olympia or not?
No.
Okay.
I'm about to make the decision. I've got other investments and things to prioritize spending on, so it's not going to be this year, but it will be next year for sure.
It's a brutal trip, though, to go from here
to
Orlando.
Flight and
I talked to Colton. You remember Colton was here, right? We had the anabolic buffet, which was great, by the way, guys. I'll overlay some
shout
pictures.
Out to those fellas.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So he had to fly back with 27 hours. And the reason why I'm going to China first and then LA and then I don't want to do this super long flights, man. It ruins you.
Dude, 13 hours to the UK was brutal.
Yeah.
And I had to upgrade because I can't do economy anymore.
No.
So that cost a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
28 hours to the States with a couple of stops along the way.
Yeah, you can go from here to either Japan, Taiwan, or Korea, and then fly onwards to LA or San Francisco, and then continue from there. So you have 2 stopovers.
Yeah.
But it's brutal. It's brutal, dude.
I think next year I'll be able to afford business class, and then it won't be too painful.
I'll fly everything economy. I don't want to waste the money on business.
Oh, I just can't do economy.
But I'm tiny now, so it's okay.
I'll
be tiny. After China, I'll be even smaller with all the alcohol abuse that will take place there.
By the next Olympia, you'll probably have like an army of little jacked babies running around.
Yeah. I probably won't.
For whatever reason you don't, and you decide you want to come to the Olympia next year, you'll be too big for economy by then. You won't be doing economy seats.
I'm not sure if I want to get up that big again, though.
I think you don't really have much of a choice. I think you get a sniff testosterone from 6 feet away and you put on 10 kilograms.
500 tests and I'll be 110. No problem.
Easy, without even trying. Maybe that's because your androgen receptors are more sensitive.
Yeah.
And you're going to get that extra boost and...
probably. Yeah. Sexual body globulin going up. Yeah, I'm sure.
I reckon there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, well, I still have a bottleload of Nandrolone in there.
I'm going to do that.
Go full Ty and Clark and do a Nandrolone-Only cycle.
I'm gonna
Zero libido.
I'm going to put Ty and Clark's models to the test. I mean, why not, right? Why not?
Yeah, give it a try.
There's nothing to lose. There's everything to gain.
I mean, his guys look great, so...
Yeah, and guys that struggle with testosterone, like they're really, really sensitive to testosterone and estradiol side effects, it's a great option for them. Right?
For sure.
I don't struggle with any testosterone side effects.
You don't struggle with any
I love testosterone. So for me, it's kind of like, well, why change? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I say that all the time. But I'm also very, very inquisitive.
He's bi-curious. Bi-curious for the Nandrolone-Only cycle.
Well, there's got to be a good word we can make up for that.
Yeah.
Bi-curious, deca-curious.
Deca-curious, yeah.
But yeah, so I've got to try it just to get it off my head. And once I confirm that, happy days, I can move forward with whatever works better. I already know what will work, so why not add to the toolbox?
I think you'll be fine, dude.
I think so.
I think you'll be fine.
I think I'll blow up and I'll look awesome.
Yeah.
And then...
Plus, with that much Nandrolone, you're going to go straight to a gram?
No. Actually, this is one thing...
Pussy.
So I know I'm good for a gram, 1250 of test, and I'm fine with that. But I think with the one thing I spoke to Tien a lot about this, and we've actually seen that people are getting really great results with lower dosages. From the difference between like a 6 to 12 was not really that great in most cases. A lot of people are seeing great results, 400 to 600 megs. Yeah. And I think with shorter esters, and if I need a little bit of like a boost and a little bit of estradiol, I just throw a bit of D-bol. Job done.
Yeah, or estradiol Valliere, that's also available.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, and as far as people really concerned and stuff with, like blood work and all of that, it's been debunked a whole bunch of times. People think nandrolones are going to destroy your bloods. I mean, Derek's proven that wrong. Everyone's proven that wrong.
I mean, I've seen it on my own blood work. The only thing that I was concerned about was my low estradiol levels.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And
As long as you can facilitate that, it should be.
And I didn't
good.
feel as driven and manly. That was my issue why I didn't like it.
Right.
But I mean, if you dive into the science deep enough and you start comparing tests to Nandrolone, a lot of these studies that show that Nandrolone is bad haven't been directly comparable compared to testosterone, and vice versa. So it's a lot of cherry picking that takes place.
A lot of cherry picking. So unless you try it,
so you just got to try it. You know,
yeah. You never know, right? It might be a game changer for me.
Yeah, it could be.
It might not be.
Yeah, so they'll lose you to the Deca crew for life.
Well, no,
there's a lot at stake here.
I love the test. I think
there's a lot at stake,
and I think for long cycles, I think test is probably always going to be best if you get on with test.
Yeah.
But for these little short-term cycles that TM promotes, these little 6 weeks, 3 weeks off sort of things, hey, why not put it to the test? See what works.
Yeah, try it.
You never know. Couple of little things like that I want to try, and
I was a little bit more watery on Nandrolone-Only, but not excessive to the point you would get from test and Nandrolone together.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The only thing
mix the two.
Yeah, the only thing not in high dosages. So either do high test and a little bit of Nandrolone.
Right, a couple of megs of Nandrolone I'm fine with.
Yeah, or like 100 milligrams of test for estrogen conversion, and then you take the Nandrolone sky high.
Yeah. That's something he recommended. He said, if you're fine with test, keep that in.
Yeah.
Keep 100 megs in just to facilitate that, and then use, he said there's options.
Yeah, so you don't go full trans.
Yeah. Not full transition.
Yeah, full transition.
You don't get the full pronouns.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, so
you might
there's
grow
options.
some more hair. Who knows? As a side effect, you might fill in these little...
Maybe I might actually grow a real full mustache.
Did you notice that your hair is growing like 10 times faster on the Increlex?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I shaved every 2 days now. I got to shave.
But I also noticed my skin is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, less water. So I'm just like, my face isn't quite as blown up, which is nice.
Yeah, for a change.
Yeah, it's got its benefits for sure.
I remember when a girl of mine posted your picture out of the essential amino acids. It was a prep picture. It was a prep picture. I'm like, Aaron looks good. Oh, it is a prep picture from months ago.
That was a good 10 kilograms ago.
Yeah.
That was in prep. Real prep. But
good stuff.
Yeah, it's all fun and games, right? I think this is for me, this is one of the most exciting parts about bodybuilding is it's ever evolving so fast.
Yeah,
so
to most people do the same shit. It's boring, you know?
Yeah, like for you've tested everything. You've
You've
experimented in very controlled way, proper data collection, more than anyone's done with most things.
Yeah.
So you can confidently say, yeah, I've tried that. And I'll tick this box, cross that. This is the best option for me. You know that. I've got a couple extra boxes to tick to know that for myself.
Right.
And I think that's a good thing to experiment in a good
I agree.
way. Right?
I agree. Yeah, I mean, you don't never know until you get your hands dirty. So by all means, go for it, man. And then, after you try that for coming off for 6 weeks, almost off, right? Not injecting anything for 6 weeks, at least not steroids, and then ramping up the dose again. I mean, you get so much more experience with your own body. I'm all for it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And then,
It's a little excitement as well. You know what it's like when you just plodding along and it's good, and I get excited about the training. I'm chasing logbook numbers and everything's feeling good and blah blah blah. But after a while, just a little change up every now and then.
It's good for your portfolio.
It's given me a nice
little.
That's the biggest thing. Is the more I know, the better I can do my job.
Yeah,
right. So
sure,
that's the biggest thing.
For sure, that's why I tried it initially. Also, I mean, I think Ty and Clark talked about it on the GH15 forum decades ago or a long time ago. Yeah. And then, Tony Huge gave him a plug on his YouTube channel for a while. So, and then people lost their minds and I'm like, you know what? It makes sense on paper. Give it a try.
Yeah. And he's got plenty of guys that have responded amazing from it.
They look great. Better than some educators that proclaim they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, right. He's a good guy. He's a very smart guy. He's a great researcher. He does proper researching. Right. I mean, you two are almost identical with your diet approaches.
Yeah.
Very, very micronutrient dense.
Intake, yeah.
So you
like Lantus, long-acting insulin,
Right? So you set your body up in such a healthy way like that you're going to give yourself a way higher potential for results no matter what you do.
Right.
Because you're not full of junk all the time.
And what's funny? Everything will work as long as you're consistent. That's what I come to. It doesn't matter what cocktail of drugs you take.
Yeah.
As long as the dose is high enough, then you're consistent.
Yeah.
You'll make gains.
Exactly.
But
if every get an extra 5% from this combo,
it's not necessarily that. But some drug cocktails might give you great results, but you feel like shit.
Right.
And other cocktails might give you great results, but make you feel better. But you get like a cosmetic side effect that you don't like hair loss, for example. So you have to make a sacrifice there. So in the end, everybody's drug cocktail is going to be slightly different based on how I feel and which side effects they have. But, for a certain amount of drugs, you'll get a certain amount of response if the training and the nutrition and supplementation and the blood work, nobody wants to hear about this shit. But as long as you're consistent, it will work.
100%. 100%. And you've got to train like a beast and eat like a beast.
Yeah, and that's where most people are failing.
Yeah, exactly right. You're like, I've tried this, I've tried that, and I'm like, let's see your training. And it's just like you can never outdrug shit training or a shit diet.
No.
So
but people are still looking for this YouTube channel for the magic answer, though. I can see it in my audience every time I start. Like you see the peaks and valleys, right? Where people watch the audience retention, and then I start talking about training and nutrition and supplementation. You see the audience retention goes down, and then as soon as I talk about drugs, especially around the timestamps, audience retention goes up again. And then people wonder why they're not as big. Yeah. It's too bad, right?
Too bad.
It's too bad for you.
Learn the hard way. I wish people would just take that stuff seriously and just really commit.
Well, it's boring. It's also boring to talk about.
But bodybuilding, once you're in a good groove, it's boring.
It is very boring. It's very repetitive.
It's super. But
the basics still apply, even the basic
You have to take tiny little wins to keep you motivated along the way. And
or come off cycle for 6 weeks and then you feel like, I'm so small and tiny.
Come off, shave your head, grow a mustache, spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, spice it up a little bit, yeah. Take it from behind for a while. No.
I wonder what my Nandrolone-based haircut and facial hairstyle should be, because everything's going to have to change if it's going to really work.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to have to wear pink.
Full Viking beard.
Yeah, and a pink shirt.
Maybe I should plait my hair.
Yeah. Oh, some of his time Clarks has those Viking beards and like the braided red hair, they go full Viking.
Some people really commit to that Viking look.
Yeah, fuck. I think it's cool. Yeah.
It's cool if you look like a Viking. If you look like you couldn't swing an axe to save your life, and you've got a plaited goatee and a plaited Viking haircut, and you look like
Obelisk from Asterix and Obelisk, their cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah, you could be the Obelisk.
Dude, that'd be great. And Halloween,
just wear New
Year's Eve
clothes up until here, but shirtless.
Belt holding everything in. Oh yes. That would be great little
you can cosplay.
New Year's Eve cosplay things. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and I just slim down and get even shorter and can play for Asterix.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
What else are we going to cover though?
Well, the Olympia. Since you're not going, we got to do some predictions.
Did you watch any of the recent shows? Did you watch the Nathan Regan battles?
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think Nathan should have won. I like Regan.
I think that Regan came back. He looked better.
Yeah, but Nathan also looked better, and he still looked better than Regan.
It's a tough one.
I guess you had to be there, huh?
Yeah, but I want to say, because I want to see them both in the Olympia.
Of course,
I want to see them
both. Now they're both going.
Yeah, which was obviously why it happened. You want to see both. Of course, you want to see both in the lineup.
Yeah.
If you really, really break it down. I mean, I think from a judges, because it'll be the same judges from the week before.
Is it?
To that one, pretty much.
I think it's just,
there'll be one or two of the
head
same.
judges.
So when they see Nathan look pretty much the same, maybe a little bit better, but they see a dramatic difference in Regan from, he was all right, but a little bit flat to, okay, this
nice full blown, yeah.
I think maybe that was the shock factor. That improvement swayed the decision, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And I mean, the only bad thing is I guess someone's bank account. The
question is again, will Nathan be able to make it because of his convictions?
Oh yeah,
I mean, the last 3 Olympias he didn't come to, even though he was qualified. I mean, he's got the most pro wins out of any pro.
So he got 10 or 11.
Yeah, as of recent, he's the most winning pro out there, and every time he can't go to the Olympia because he can't get the visa. Right, because he's got some felonies in the UK, even though that's been resolved. If you want to apply for a visa for the US, then
I wonder maybe that's why he does show after show, even though he's already qualified, to pick up those paychecks,
pick up the money,
just in case he can't go and pick up the Olympia paychecks.
I would do the same thing, dude. I mean, same as Milo Sarcev. If you're in shape, you do all the shows. Just the best publicity.
Why not, right?
And of course, it sucks if they put you second because they want Regan to go. Also,
I mean, the kid has got.
He just needs the wow factor.
He's got the best genetics as far as the complete flowy package. He's got Olympia level, top 3 level back if it had a bit more pop. I think hopefully Milos they'll suss out that load and they'll get him bursting full. And that will give him a bit of extra pop. But he's amazing from the back. From the front, very pretty, well put together physique. But he's great. He's one of my favourites. I think he has Olympia winning genetics for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And plus he's still young, so he's still got 5-10 years left in him.
Right, he's got loads of time. But, realistically this year, if you look at the current sort of top 5 predictions, that's a hard top 5 to get. Those guys are good.
I mean,
holy moly.
Samson looked like he doubled in size.
Dude, did you see Hardy's last update?
Yeah.
He ain't. He's not going out without a fight.
No. Derek Lunsford also looked better.
Derek's just mutated. They've all mutated. Andrew Jack, even he has got he'll win the Olympia one day, without a doubt. With those genetics.
But people need to be off. There's still people better. But I mean,
give him 2 or 3 years for the size. I mean, once he has Samson mass with those genetics, game over.
Yeah.
No one's beaten him.
And he's got 4 or 5 years of bodybuilding in him, just like you.
Right? So it's wild, the amount of progress that can be made there. Scary. But yeah, it's good to see such a really high caliber, high quality, where, to be honest, it could go either way and you wouldn't be angry at the end.
No, last year I wasn't angry either. I mean, I had Derek winning, but Hadi won. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah, he looked sharp.
Fair enough.
He was a little bit sharper.
Yeah.
This year.
More muscle maturity, density.
Derek looks...
I mean, once you...
So Increlex is working.
Yeah, the Increlex is working, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, they all look incredible. They've all mutated, and it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, Derek, or what is it, Nick? Nick is making good improvements.
Always, you can never write Nick off. He just keeps getting better. It's just non-stop. I mean, if you think of... He's only been a pro for a few years.
Oh, these guys guys are pros for only a couple of years, I mean, it's absolutely stellar what kind of gains these guys are making, But of course, they don't miss meals and don't miss injections and don't miss workouts.
They tick the boxes. For sure. Yeah. Day in, day out. That's the biggest thing in it. If we really, really break it down, if I look at the last 12 weeks, I've put on 10, 12 pounds, not really pushed food.
Lived like a fucking hermit.
Was I regimented? Was I really pushing training really hard? Was I logbooking every set, every rep, weighing every... Of course I was. And 131 with abs. Thank you very much. Yeah. So it just comes down. And I say this to my guys as well. I'm like, the guys that struggle with that sort of really, the consistency of things, because it is difficult and it's monotonous and it takes practice. I just say, just give me a week. Just give me 1 week of perfection. Just forget, cancel all of your plans.
9 out of 10 already fail.
Your only priority this week is to just nail your food and nail your training. Go to sleep on time. Just nail the routine just for 1 week. Get it perfect. And the guys that do that for just 1 week and they see the results of just 1 week, like things happen and they're like, holy shit, yeah. And I'm like, see? Like your weight's been doing this and stalling here, but you're 1 week absolutely locked in and now look where you are. Yeah. Now imagine 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks. Now imagine 6 months. Now imagine years. Now 5 years. And then it's like, and it starts to sink in and they're like, okay, yeah, there's no amount of like, oh, let me add a bit of this and do a bit of this. What if I do a bit of extra cardio to make up for this meal that I over measured or, do a bit of this to make up for that meal I missed.
So they're on the gains roller coaster.
But it's fun. Those early days, this is where you learn all that stuff.
Yeah, Sam Sulek.
Bless him. Bless him. Hey,
he's making gains though.
We were all that kid once upon a time.
Exactly.
Just getting after it. Yeah. Just getting after it. Training, eating, taking this, taking that. Just getting after some gains and just learning. Just learn. He's a real smart kid. He'll pick it up and he'll get better and better. And I'm sure one day he'll get everything dialed in if he listens to the right people.
Yeah.
But he's having fun. He's young and he's having fun.
I think
he's got 1 billion freaking followers.
If I look at my training footage from when I was like 18, 21, 22 years old, it's the same shit, dude.
Right.
Like same shit. Like I would go to the gym and then make myself like it's basically an open sandwich. You have a toasted bread, then a couple layers of toasted ham or pastrami on top, then cheese, and then 4 eggs. Right, 2 eggs per side. That would be my protein intake. And I did that for like 3 years. And I'm sure if I were to put that on social media, I go to the gym, pre-workouts and that kind of shit. Whey protein barely existed. Creatine was super new. I eat this post-workout every time. People would cringe.
Yeah, dude, it's part
but I was
of it.
making gains.
Of course. I was seeing pictures when I was Natty a couple of years before I started actually taking bodybuilding seriously. I was doing the Dorian Yates blood and guts 2 a day. Yeah. Split it into 2 a day. No rest days. Rest days. No. I made a massive crock pot full of curry and rice. 6 curries a day. Just smashing curry 6 times a day. Right. Mutant Muscle Tech Mass Tech 2000 calorie shake. Sugar, smash one of them in there as well. Yeah. Spotty, fluffy as fuck, crushing the gym, loving life, having a great time, hit 250 Natty, strong as fuck. Yeah. And who cares?
Wear the clothes you would do painting with, like all the fucking trash clothes that are fucking old you wear to the gym, holes in it,
my chest
stains, bleach stains. Nobody would give a shit, dude.
My chest day was 5 sets of 10 to 15 decline flies. Right. 5 sets to 10 to 15 flat flies. Yeah. 5 sets of 10 to 15 incline flies. Yeah. Flies. I think there's like 150 flies by the end of the workout. Done. Right. Leave. Zero science. I would do the same. Nothing but just train really hard until you can't train anymore.
With a couple of mates and then, it's like...
And everyone was like, what are you taking? That was like rugby pre-season. Yeah, right. Everyone was like, you on gear now? I'm like, what the fuck is gear?
Well, that's only for you.
That was this was years ago.
I do think Sam is on a little bit of gear, but probably less than people think.
Maybe. If not, he's no different than anyone else.
The difference between Sam Sulek and everybody else is that he's exploding on social media because he looks good, and everybody else is not making the gains.
Yeah,
because they're not doing it
because they're not getting paid to do it.
Well, they're not having fun with
training all day and having fun.
They're not having fun. They're chasing somebody else.
They're too busy on YouTube looking for the secret. Yeah, rather than get to the gym and do some work.
Exactly.
Go and prep your meals. Yeah. So. Fun stuff. He might not be doing all the right things, but he's consistent with what he is doing.
Yeah, he's consistently doing everything wrong, so he's getting the results.
And he's still making gains.
Yeah. So he's probably the highest paying hostile athlete already. He's probably selling more supplements than like discount code wise than all of his entire roster combined.
Probably. And everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. Everyone's making little reels and shorts about, he's doing this is bad. Oh, shut up. Leave him alone. He's a young kid enjoying his bodybuilding and he's learning as he goes. Right. He's going to be fine. He's going to be absolutely fine. He has enough people taking care of him, probably looking at his blood work, probably make sure he's doing all right, giving him some advice. There's plenty of people giving him constructive stuff about his training and his diet. You can see in his videos he's starting to listen to this stuff. I'm going to try this and I'm going to try that. He's going to learn quick and he'll probably be a very, very good.
Yeah, by 23 he'll be a staple.
But everyone jumping on this fucking bandwagon of just talking shit about it.
What's funny? Like all these people.
Everyone was young and dumb once upon a time and having a good time.
You know what's bad? Like in this fitness industry, everybody makes reaction videos, right? Yeah. But it's always towards the young guys and then using them as an example point of what they're doing wrong. And I get it. It's good for views because most of the audience is young. They're watching them, so they want to know what somebody else's opinion on. What about their mental health? Yeah. Nobody thought about that. That's why I stopped making reaction videos already because I realized, wait a minute, you might say something that the other person doesn't really like. And then the cumulative effect of all these reaction videos, let's say they watch it, it wouldn't be good. This is why I never watched the reaction videos.
A young guy like that. Yeah. But maybe a bit more sort of susceptible to people's opinions.
Of course.
And all of a sudden waves of quick rise to fame and waves of hate. It's like.
It can be good for you.
I think with him, though, he seems to be pretty switched on.
He seems pretty grounded. He seems quite he's got a good team around him already.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been told, just don't listen to people. Most people are full of shit. But yeah, I just think good on him. Get after them gains. Learn some stuff along the way.
Invest your gains also. Invest your money. Because he's probably making $250 a month already.
Well, maybe. But he's a smart. He goes to engineering school and stuff like that.
Still in school, though. Same as Tanner. Still in school.
This guy's getting after it. I wish I started back then.
Yeah, that's we adopted social media late. We're from the old generation where we still had a life without this, and I wouldn't change it for the world, dude.
No, I was talking about this with Andrea yesterday. We were watching Stand By Me. You remember the 1986 Stand By Me? The 4 kids that go on that little adventure to find the dead body. Yeah. And I was looking at it and I said, I think my generation is the last generation to have outside social lives without technology and phones. Yeah. I mean, I remember going out, camping, building tree houses, making bow and arrows. Yeah. Fucking around in the woods for days on end.
Digging ditches.
Right, getting dirty, getting in trouble. I think there's something to be said for that. I think that's. I'm not going to go hating on new generations and stuff. But
no, they just have other opportunities.
It's weird to think that. I just found it really weird that we are the last generation to grow up without distractions.
Right.
You had to make fun. You had to make your own fun out of the silliest, simplest things. Mm-hmm. And I would never trade that.
No, for sure. No,
for no amount of freaking.
No, and I mean, even 10 years ago or 13 years ago when I traveled through Asia, I didn't care about social media. YouTube was just beginning, so I got to experience Asia without all the cell phones and just having fun and interacting with people authentically. And that's all
wild
changed.
Times.
Yeah, it's all changed.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we had PlayStation 1 and stuff like that, but we were broke. Couldn't afford. Like, I'd go to a friend's place, and every now and then you'd have a little game.
I think that still happens, though.
But then we'd go out.
I think people are still broke.
You get bored and get on your skateboard and go skateboarding around and stuff.
On the other hand, like embracing social media as a young age does allow you to make a good amount of money if you can deal with the hate.
Teenage millionaires all over the place now.
Yeah.
If they're smart and switched on. Yeah. So there is that. There's always a positive spin on everything. But
I mean, that allows us to stay here in Thailand and have fun. Because without it, what would we be doing? Not coaching.
Don't even think about that.
I don't want to think about that. So, social media, take it with a grain of salt, but without it,
advantage. Don't be a dickhead.
Use it to your advantage. Yeah.
Don't be a social media moron. Don't be a keyboard warrior. Be positive.
I mean, even those you need, because without the keyboard warriors, you don't get the reach. Unfortunately,
from an algorithm point of view.
I talked about this with Chris. He got some hate, just coming up, and some other guys that get some hate. And I told him, listen, it's just part of life, on social media. It's part of it. People are going to call you out. People are going to say that you're full of shit. People are going to say this and that. And it's just all part of the process,
I noticed recently, some people messaged me on, the video, the little picture I posted of our before and after 3 years muscle nomads.
Yeah, where I look tiny.
Quite a few people posted long comments.
Oh, really?
Nice positive comments.
Good.
All got blocked.
Because it's long...
Because it's long and positive, it got blocked. Really? Unable to post. Now, I'm like, really? That doesn't sound right. And I asked a couple people, and they're like, oh, yeah. If it's not, if that was a long, hateful comment, it might have made it.
Probably, yeah.
Or maybe it's just too long. They want short, snappy... comments. I don't know. I think is that a thing?
I see it all the time on my YouTube.
More angry
because I see it on YouTube.
YouTube's different.
Well, because you have that segment of your YouTube channel where you can see filtered comments, right? Yeah. And of course, I've added a couple of words to the spam filter because I don't want drama.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you see these very nice life stories. Basically, they're like what is this called? Like watching the channel and they get so much out of it. And it all gets blocked. I have to manually approve that.
It's crazy, right?
Which is a shame because I'd rather have them post right away so people can read that and then comment to that and share their positive experience. Like a testimonial, basically.
So these algorithms are just promoting the hate. They're promoting the triggered stuff. They want people to be wound up and arguing online rather than being a positive, nice influence or whatever.
Well, that's what gets the views, dude.
Yeah, I guess that is what gets the views. So
you just got to brush it off.
Yeah,
it's all for the algorithm.
And you can still control what impact you have on social media. So you can still go through your feed and leave a few nice positive comments.
Right.
You see someone in the gym getting after it, drop them a little bicep emoji and say, good job.
But you can't say killed it anymore because killed is blocked.
Really? Oh my God.
I was trying to reply to some guy on Instagram and it's called Killer Whale or something. I couldn't reply because you got at Killer Whale or whatever his username was. Can't reply. And then I had to remove his username. So I replied, but now this guy doesn't know that I'm replying to his comment.
So the algorithm is a snowflake.
Yeah. It's
depressing.
Yeah. Well,
sad world.
Don't worry. It's going to get even worse with this World Health Organization trying to reduce medical advice on, this is all not medical advice, guys. Yeah, this is bodybuilding advice.
Which is entertainment only.
Yeah, just don't do what we do.
Yeah, just take 7 scoops of mode. You'll be fine.
Yeah, not medical advice.
Not medical advice.
Yeah. But take it over 7 days, not all in one time. Yeah, 7 scoops over 7 days.
I'm joking. Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do
that. Yeah.
You will feel like shit. But yeah, it's a crazy, wild thing to navigate now, social media. So I just try and try and have a positive impact when you can. Be mindful of your comments.
Right.
Try not to be triggered. Try not to react quickly. Like, think about what your reaction what that impact might have on that person. When you see some absolute bellend blatantly just trolling in the comments.
Trolling back.
You either troll them back, but be clever with your trolls. Make it funny so other people get a laugh out of it, but don't get triggered or offended by it because it's just a troll. Or don't reply and move on to the next post.
Exactly.
Or if it's one of our posts, then definitely reply because it's good for the algorithm.
Yeah. Well, if we sound like a bunch of bellends, that's because we're trolling. I troll all the time. So in the Vigorous Q&A in my comment section,
you got to you work on your counter troll game.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure it's
the
good.
way to do it.
Make sure it's good.
This is why Iain Valliere retired.
Yeah, just to be
because he couldn't take it
full-time
anymore. He couldn't take it anymore. The comments, he would go into it seriously.
I reckon he'll set up a few fake accounts and just become full-time anti-troll.
It wouldn't surprise me. Well, he's smart that he retired though, because his physique was going backwards.
That's a good little subject.
Yeah,
smart guy. He recognized not the red flags because he's healthy. He just recognized that realistically, are my placings going to improve? No. So is it worth it?
No.
Be honest, really honest with yourself. Is it worth it? No. And I see so many bodybuilders.
Who should follow his advice?
99% of bodybuilders.
Big Ramy. Also going backwards.
Big Ramy. If I was Big Ramy, I would give it this because he's just pulled out, right? He's just pulled out of the O. I would give it this time to see what that recovery does for him.
He already did that.
It's very short term, extremely short term. If they give that a good stretch of time and see how his body responds to that real proper recovery time, and it's positive, then he could definitely have another stab.
Right.
If it doesn't respond how they hope it will respond, then pull the plug.
Yeah.
Bonac just pulled out.
No, I think he wasn't going to do it after March because he went to 7th place. So after the Arnold Classic. Yeah, it's weird because he was first, second. He was winning a couple shows, and then suddenly he was 7th. I'm like, what's going on?
What the judges are looking for, and it wasn't quite dialed in. It wasn't.
No, he wasn't dialed in.
So, is it one of them? Like, is it time to pull the plug?
I'm not sure. He just did that hernia surgery and his gyno surgery. So, yeah, could mean
conditioning, placings. I mean, how many things before? Yeah. This is elite level bodybuilding. Realistically, you have one of those things. It's probably
time to hang it up.
Probably time to hang it up. If you're not the elite and you're climbing a little momentum train of placings, if that stops and starts to go down,
especially that much of a jump.
I mean, how many guys really come back?
None.
Right. And if they come back, you better come back fast. You better come back fast and be good.
Jake came back after that injury, dropped to 4th, 6th. I mean, all these guys drop, That's why Iain is smart, because he's seen this happen over and over again.
Super smart.
And he's like,
got his health intact.
Fuck this amount. Plus, you can live vicariously through Chris Bumstead, who's kicking ass and taking names still, So, and then, Jens Vier's wife was a very good competitor, but I think she's also pulled the plug. Let them have their kids, play with dogs and do some track running and let them stay healthy doing the Bodybuilding and Bullshit podcast. No, not Bodybuilding and Bullshit. The Bodybuilding and Bollocks. Same name, different
hosts. Different shows. But I think it's just a smart guy. He recognized the reality. He just recognized reality.
Yeah.
And he went, okay, time to hang it up. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And smart. He's straight away focused on another thing he's interested in. He likes his track stuff and his running and he's slowly downsizing properly, doing everything smart. He's a smart guy. Of course, he won't cock it up. And he'll have his health intact. Right. He'll have a great bodybuilding record, plenty of money in the bank, hot wife, bunch of kids, happy ever after.
Yeah.
Like that, it just, there's so many guys. I see so many guys, mostly at the amateur level, that are just desperately trying to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to chase these pro cards or trying to chase like higher placings at the pro level. And it's like, it's never going to happen. Like there's these guys that just these third call-out guys. They never get past the second call-out.
There's something for letting them try, but it should happen within...
how long?
Yeah, it should happen within a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah, some guys are amateur like 12 years.
Well, even the pros. Like if you're not hitting first call-out after a couple of years of being pro, it's not going to happen, is it?
Well, it happened to Ronnie Coleman, but allegedly he was natural for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
So... maybe then. But
even then, it was just a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, welcome to the show.
Yeah, then you put the sauce in, the apple sauce.
But you see guys now, like they're pushing their 40s or in their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
They're still second, third, fourth call out, and they're show after show after show after. I love this game. I'm doing it for the love of the game. I get that. And I get that. But this is not one of those hobbies that is forgiving just because you like it.
No.
That will catch up with you.
Fast.
And for what?
Fast.
For zero prize money, a shitload of money spent on entries, travel, drugs. Your health is going to be trashed after that much time, doing prep after prep after prep. They never look better. They're always in that second, third call out. And they never really get out of there. And they just do it for the love of the game. And it's like, I don't understand that. I can't relate to that. If I see, once I'm in the pro league, if I'm not first call out in pro shows within 2 years, I'm
it's hanging out.
That's it. That's a good enough sign to say it's just not put together well enough to be at that level.
No.
In which case, I had a good crack. I got my pro level. I was a pro athlete. I tried my hardest. I did really good. Still have my health intact. Get on with my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that easier said than done? Of course it is. Of course it is. But
you even come to terms with being smaller and being less muscular. I mean, it's been going on for 9 months now, and I'm okay with it.
But then you just do other things that benefit that, right? You don't just you're not going to be a bodybuilder forever. End of story. Can you still train? Sure. But
of course.
Take up some other hobbies.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life.
Yeah. Try to focus on making some money for a change.
You're right. And,
not be a fucking broke bodybuilder all the time.
I see it a lot. And I think a lot of guys are surrounded by yes men. You can do it. Keep pushing. Yeah, you can do it. I think it's really important to have some people that you can really ask honestly, just be 100% honest with me. Is this worth it? Have I got a real shot at this? I think you need to have a few people around you to say.
So you got 2 more years.
2 more years.
To turn pro, and then 2 more years to, how old are you now? 34?
35.
35. Okay, so you got 5 years left.
I've got 5 years of,
5
age
years.
Means jack shit.
5 years left to make it happen and get into the first call out.
Oh, you mean 5 years of exposure and bodybuilding exposure?
Getting into the first call out. If it doesn't happen within the first 5 years, then by the time you're my age, fucking 40.
So I see it like my timeline I gave myself with pretty okay genetics was 5 years to turn pro, and then another 2-3 years for first call outs.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, total bodybuilding exposure time,
that's
10 years.
10, 12 years.
10 years.
Yeah,
so that gives me 5 years to make it happen.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
That's fine. 40, I'm retired at 40.
There you go.
You've seen it here first.
Yeah. There we go.
Unless I'm winning a string of high pro level shows at 40 and I can milk it for a couple more years, then I will. But if I'm not there by then, if I'm still second call out or outside of the top 3 after a couple of years of being pro, it's time to knock it on.
Yeah.
That's the reality. Right. What's the point? You've had your fun, you've put your time in, you've had a good crack at the whole bodybuilding thing. Why drag it out?
Yeah. Why drag it out?
But hey, that's just me. It's just my opinion. I see a lot of people.
I see guys still pushing until they're 45 and still trying,
Don't you want to just reach out and just say, dude?
I do.
Hang it up.
They don't listen. Especially when
I don't want to be that guy.
They send me your blood work and I'm like, it's a couple of guys at our gym too. I mean, they train at the world championships level and I tell them,
it's not getting any better.
It's not going to get any better and your blood work is getting worse. So.
Yeah, but also those guys are not trying anything new. Some people are so stubborn and so locked into that. They're like, if you really, after a couple of years, if you're not noticing any real big changes and serious progression, try something new. If you're like, I've always done it this way, I've always done it that way,
you're going backwards. So
you're going backwards, but no one's telling you that. Oh, because you're surrounded by yes men.
I tell them.
You've got to switch it up. And if that switch up still doesn't work, that's time to knock it on the head.
The problem is that I tell them and then they want 5 hours of my time to explain them why.
What do you say to guys the guys that are die hard, I just do this for the love of the game. No other reason. Nothing. You will never talk me out of body. I love bodybuilding and competing so much. I will always do it. What can you do then? Even that, you can't even scare them with health stuff.
You can still let them bodybuild, but no longer competing. I said, dude, your placings are going backwards, and you don't have the financial means to.
But they love it. They love not placing. They just love competing.
They love the attention, right?
guess they just love the whole process of it all, the prepping, the being on stage, the posing. And it's like, what do you say to those guys? Apart from just...
Good fucking luck then.
Crack on,
Yeah, crack
just
on.
to maybe try and do it with like minimal exposure. Even then, a prep's still fucking harsh.
It is. Yeah, especially on
Natty
people,
or not.
That's people.
Like, you seen Natty blood work after a prep?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Good God.
It's
Good Lord.
fucking liver enzymes are higher than the men using steroids.
The hormones?
Yeah.
Fucked.
Yeah. It's okay, man. Everybody's got to figure it out for them. I'm slowly coming to the realization that it's probably better.
You kind of have your future planned out as far as your physique and what you want to maintain, what's realistic to maintain and what's realistic to keep you healthy and functioning. You know that.
Right.
You've done all the homework. You know that, and you're happy with that. But
and I know that at 100.
I say this stuff. It might 5 years time might come around, and I might be like, I don't remember that conversation. I've got another 5-10 years.
The handshakes on camera.
I've got 10 years left.
The handshake is on camera for now.
I can see it's definitely a big mental struggle to back away, for sure, from anything that you really love doing.
The worst thing is going to the gym and getting weaker. That's the worst thing.
That sucks. Yeah,
that's the worst.
It sucks. I hate not being strong. It doesn't happen often.
And even now,
every now and then, a
the
little
weird
drop.
thing is, like, I'm like 80%. So instead of 8 plates, I do 6 plates on a machine, for example. And that mental fuck up is so annoying. And then sometimes you try to push it to 7 plates and you get absolutely fucking buried. You know, and not only from the set, but also 3 days afterwards because the recovery isn't there. That's the worst thing. You know, I can still train. I'm, reasonably injury free, but it's just going to the gym and especially if you're always trying to beat the logbook and then watching the logbook just going back in time. Like, I'm now at my strength of 2010.
Someone fetch the DeLorean.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Yeah, this is not
I need
good.
to get back to the future.
That's the worst one. And when I look in the mirror, I'm like, you know what? I actually look decent. I don't look terrible. I don't look freaky. If I go outside, take my shirt off, I'll still be the best looking guy, probably minus a couple bodybuilders in the street. You know,
it's all perspective. Like we are the worst judges for ourselves because we'll always see the worst case scenario. Even though we talk about this stuff and I tell people how not to think and how not to feel in these times, it's so difficult to do. It's such a mindfuck. You're always going to do it. You're always going to see yourself and compare it to the best version of yourself. Yeah. I look at people's physiques online and sometimes I just have to remind myself, not everyone's a full-blown high-level athlete, pro bodybuilder. Yeah. And I look at people with like a high-level judge's eyes and I'm like, that's shit, blah, 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 blah. And then I have to sort of snap out of it and say, that guy is in the 1% of top physiques in the world if you really have the perspective.
Yeah, but if you compare it to Derek Lund further behind you, it looks like shit.
I'm like, I look at myself and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing this for?
It's terrible, right?
And then you have to look back at your progress over time and then you go, okay, calm down. You're making epic progress. It's all going well. You have to have reality checks very often in bodybuilding.
Or you feel small and then you take a picture with somebody else that you think is big and then you look twice the size. Those days are over for me. Only if I take women.
That's only because you hang around with big people.
Yeah, that doesn't help either, right? But I mean, we took the picture like when we all went out, right? And you and Nick look very, very large, but everybody else still looks super muscular. Yeah. But it's not like you look small next to people. Yeah, the ladies look small. But
and if you took a
to
picture with just normal people, you would look like an absolute giant freak.
If I just take a picture with my wife, I dwarf her, and she's not small compared to
always,
regular women.
Just perspective, and that just taking that little backward step and look at things from the outside in, and remind yourself like you're doing fine, you're good, you're still an absolute freak compared to the vast, vast majority of the population. Yeah. But, oh God, I have that argument with myself all the time.
And even when you go to the Olympia, feel small, and then you take pictures with people, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not that small. Actually, I'm size up quite well with these people, the pros, and of course you're not as freaky dry as
you get out-angled by some friggin' absolute beast.
No, it's the normal guys that try to out-angle you, and they're like this, and they're like that. This is a thumbnail right here. That's a thumbnail.
Out-angle Steve. See, you got it there. That's a win for you, that one.
Shredded, bro. Increlex gains.
I'm Natty, so.
Yeah. As long as you still you look bigger than you do on YouTube, then it's okay, right?
Yeah.
That's the best.
It's all good. But these are these little, these fun little battles of bodybuilding, these little personal things. But for the vast majority of people, I say this to my clients and stuff all the time, just have a little look back, little step back, look at the bigger picture. You're leagues ahead of where you were.
Yeah, unless you're going backwards like me, and then I look back 3 years, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, don't do that.
I look so fucking good. Like, every time I'm reminded on my phone, right? This is Steve, this is what you used to look like. You piece of shit, you're slacking.
Dude, you need to change that screensaver ASAP. It's a good post.
It's like, this is like my best picture.
It's a good post. It's good.
Holy shit. And then you look at the skin rolls down here, you're like, I was in shape, but not in great shape.
I could have been 5% better.
I should have taken more fucking clean.
Brilliant. But hey, the reality is, though, I think a nice peace of mind thing for you is you know that you could get that back pretty fast.
Almost. I think almost.
Close.
But,
very
you know,
close.
since this picture, I will say that I've like 7x'd my income.
Some gains.
That's some serious gains.
That's some progressive overload on the
bank account. Serious gains also. Yeah.
That counts.
Yeah. And I don't think that anybody would get inspired from this. Maybe a little bit, but like from this, okay, it looks good, right? But I can do
that would win the vast majority of classic shows, I think.
Yeah,
definitely amateur
from the front, no way.
From the back, a damn good vacuum, and you still got the peaks.
But I realized a long time ago that my physique is not going to turn any heads in the bigger picture, right? But the content can make some, life improvements.
I can make some
serious so I just got to make one sacrifice here to gain somewhere else.
Well, it's know your lane, right? Know your best lane and stay in it and all of that. And it's just being realistic.
Exactly.
What's in front of you.
I remember when I met Jay Cutler in 2006 after year one, he came to Holland. And we had a little private seminar at Sport and Fitness Gym. William Bonac was there, I think. It was a long time ago. And then I shook Jay Cutler's hand after the seminar was done, and we took some pictures. And I looked at the pictures, the size difference between, I was still drug-free by the time. I think it was like 85 kilos. Yeah, I was never big drug-free. But I had a real job. I had a real job being a business consultant, okay? Anyway, so I compared my pictures to Jay, and when I shook his hand, his hand completely overcame mine. So my hand was gone. Hand. Yeah, it's an orc hand. Covered in protein still, with those dirty fucking orange nails. And then I took a picture with him, and I even was closer to the camera, and I realized I could never be like this. This is not going to happen. And we didn't have classic. That didn't exist. We didn't have men's physique. You had bodybuilding.
That was it.
And around me, all the bodybuilders that were really big, doing shows, are all deadbeats. So you don't really get inspired. The bar's been raised so high that it's completely unrealistic. And in your immediate surroundings, you see all these people with relationship issues, terrible moods, the weird diets and fucking deadbeats, dude. So, yeah, maybe if I was in the United States, I felt more motivated to really push it that far. But, yeah, I just wanted to make a career, man. Well, look how that turned out. I still ended up on YouTube being a bodybuilder. Albeit not that big.
Still play a very, very pivotal, important role in the industry. That's for sure.
Yeah, I put my, I think I contributed a little bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little. You gotta stay humble, man. Don't let it get to your head like all these other influencers.
Well, if it
just fuck, man. The egos
even just me, just my results and just the last 5 years, what's been done in the last 5 years, I think, there's pretty much we can just say, safe to say, look, the vast, vast, vast majority of that has been on the base back of your teachings over time, right? So even if you just help one person get there without completely fucking themselves up, it's a win. So you can take that win.
Yeah. It's funny to see, though, in Thailand, more and more people are showing up from the videos that I made like 2 or 3 years ago about financial freedom and living in Thailand. And they say, I watched these 2 videos and now I'm here. I'm like, okay, great.
Do you know, a lot more of my newer signups are people that just message me on Instagram and they already have a lot of the answers. They already are starting to do the right thing. So when they're coming to me now, they're not, whereas before, a few years ago, they're like, a lot of my clients would come to me and they're just coming from like, oh my God,
zero.
We have got to fix some we've got a lot of stuff to fix before we
sign up for 1 year, otherwise it's not going to work.
But now I find a lot of people are coming to me and in their intake forms and stuff, they're like, oh, I've been following, Steve's protocols. I've got this locked in place. I've got this. I can see by what they're doing that they've been watching, and they're so much better set up to make progress a lot faster because they put that bit of time and effort into going online, figuring out who's good information, who's bad information, putting that stuff into practice, and they we're starting up with a coach with such better foundations, and the progress is so much better, so much faster.
Sure,
They're not coming from absolute trash. So
I wish I
for
had,
sure, I've seen just from my clients huge benefits based on the first thing they say. Oh yeah, I've followed Steve for a long time. That's how I found you, or whatever. And I've been doing this and I've been doing that, and I'm like, okay, we've ticked a whole list of boxes straight away, you know. So
the weird thing is, I'm starting to realize now that like some sort of online daddy for a lot of people, which is so weird.
You and Noel are the daddies.
Yeah, Noel Diesel. Yeah, he's like getting people into the gym, and then I take him to the next level after a couple of years of. No, it's so weird, dude. It's so weird because a lot of these kids now are like 20, 25 years old, and that's.
Do you find that you've got like a sense of responsibility? Is it pressure in any way?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. Like I want to have and the problem is the content that I know is life changing doesn't get any views. So then after a while, you see your count, your revenue, and your growth starts to stall, and you're like, okay, I got to go back to the fucking vanilla content because otherwise we're never getting to 100,000 subs. And then after a while, the growth is fast again with vanilla bullshit, which I don't really want to make, but that's what you need for growth. And then I start throwing in the hardcore stuff again, deep dives and like really niche content, and then you see the growth kind of slowing. So like,
that's a cycle, though, right? You got to get them in, So they're in, and you've got their attention, and then give them the shit that's actually going to help.
I think
then those guys are kind of good. They're like, okay, they're doing their deep dives, and the views slowly trickle up. And then you've got to make some more vanilla content to get some new people in.
I'm trying to make that at the same time because I'm either really into vanilla content where I try to understand what general population wants, which I'm so far beyond I don't even get these stupid problems that people have, but they want an answer. I'm like, you have problems with what? Yeah. Bro, so yeah, I mean, maybe that's my problem for being old and having figured my shit out.
Well, no, because I think there's something to be said. I think there's something to learn from just how you present yourself, how you approach presenting information, or how you approach problems. Not just giving the answers. It's like, how about we just change the way we think a little bit? Stop being such a bitch, you know, and maybe just man up a little bit in this situation. And learn how to master your mind, think a little bit more, be in control of your thoughts and your emotions, and how you approach difficult situations, how you respond to adversity. You know, a lot of the time,
lost 9 out of 10 people.
Right, a lot of people. Everyone's so triggered and sensitive and stuff these days, and they have breakdowns over the smallest thing. And it's like, you need to step back and be like, hold on a minute.
I think you can only save those who want to be saved.
Sure.
You need that switch before, you know what, I'm going to change my life. Okay, then this YouTube channel is there for you. But I'm not going to hammer it into you. I mean, I think
that's where our style of coaching comes in. Like my style of coaching, I think it's been very good and well received because it's based on your style of coaching. Like, give a shit about your clients, be there for them, whether it's drug related, diet related, or whether it's lifestyle related. I mean, I can't imagine the amount of personal life problems you probably talked people through outside of the diet and the drugs and
that's why I had to stop because it's not good for
you turn into a life coach, right? Like it's inevitable. You turn into more of this life coach, whatever they give that fucking a word for it now these days. Life coaching. It's just part of coaching.
It's an older brother that lives somewhere else.
Right. It's just someone that people can. If shit hits the fan, you've got someone that you can rely on.
It's the dad that you have to pay for.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's the good dad.
Not the dad that you get.
It's it's that really good uncle, like the one that didn't touch you bad.
Yeah.
It's the uncle that didn't touch you in the wrong places that you can call for like really good advice.
Yeah, and that's the guy that secretly hates your dad, so he's trying to antagonize whatever that fucking asshole's trying to teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more of that. We need more of that, right? That's why Andrew Tate is so popular. Because there's so much bad dads out there that they just try to go to the online dad.
People just want some like different, like some sort of influence, any kind of influence in their lives that makes them feel a bit more masculine and a little bit more of a man. And because there's too many snowflake dads out there, or just dads that just aren't there.
Yeah.
Or big brothers that don't exist.
Yeah.
People just need someone who's got their back when they need it. And then got their back with some actual information that will help
with some life-changing information. So yeah, unfortunately, there are coaches out there who can do that for you, but that's like the brother for hire, basically.
Yeah, it's a different service for sure. Because some people will just do cool, check in, good job, do this, carry on. where there could be some other things in the background going on.
The funny thing is, like, I've coached so many people now, and then you check like 5 years later, and they're so far ahead in life. Like, the finances are great, the relationship is great. Yeah. They've attacked all these boxes, and they really exceeded, which is great to see.
It's nice, yeah.
And but I just got to reel it back in for my own kids because at one point it got very
save some for your own offspring.
Yeah, that's why after this year I'm 100% done. I still got 2 clients left. And then,
can you imagine you would have done this for so long that your first reaction to like any questions or advice is just, oh, for fuck's sake. So you'll have your kids, Dad, this happened at school today.
Watch the fucking YouTube channel, bitch.
Yeah. I sent you the link yesterday. Watch the video. Send me half a Bitcoin, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. Have you seen my consultation rates, son? Don't bother me with the shit.
Yeah, make an appointment.
Yeah, make an appointment.
No, come back to me.
The whole idea behind this phasing out is to have time with my kids, wife, and cat. The grinding is slowly coming to an end now. 2 more years.
2 more years. You said that 2 years ago, and then you said that 2 years before that.
Yeah, that's true. But now I think 2 years. But it has to do with the Bitcoin rally.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Watch a couple of little Jack Sprogs running around.
Yeah.
You'll have something to keep you entertained outside of
I'll just do
fixing people's shit.
I just do vanilla content that I don't have to prepare for.
Do dad content.
I've got to get all the deep dives out of the way before that time. And then, because after that, no way, dude.
Yeah.
No way. I'm playing with Legos all over again.
Oh, that'd be cool. To be fair, I was walking around shopping with Andrea, and she's always, oh, look at the little baby clothes. I'm probably going to end up spoiling your kid more than I'd buy shit for myself.
Hey, you can come over and play. Just wash your hands. Dirty bastard.
Where have I been?
Fuck, you're in the gym all the time, teaching all the tetanus fucking equipment.
It's not the cleanest gym. It's not the cleanest gym. Take alcohol.
Yeah.
Take hand sanitizer.
Yeah, you gotta do the
pro tip for that gym.
You need that high pressure hose and the fucking shit that you use for your car, you know. Yeah. That's the gyms we love to train.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun with all the baby toys and the fun baby shopping and stuff like that. It's exciting, right? That's exciting stuff.
My mom made me keep all the Lego. I wanted to sell that when I was like 16. She's like, no, you'll need this for your kids. So I have like 25 kilos of Legos back home. So I don't imagine
projects.
Imagine how much money that's worth now. Dude. Like just from a repurchasing perspective. So at one point I'll have to go to the hall and then just fill up my suitcase and my wife's suitcase with like 12.5 kilos of Legos in mine.
That stopping customs when you go through customs and it's, sir, is this your suitcase?
Yes, cold pressed cocaine.
Why is there 25 kilograms of Lego in there?
Yeah. Pressed cocaine, let me through.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that's on the short term. Yeah, we got 2 more years. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
one more blast.
Yeah, no.
One more blast.
500 tests.
One more big blast.
500 tests. Primo is unaffordable now.
It's not even available now.
It is available, but it's $25 or $16 an hour. Yeah, fuck that. I can afford it, but fuck that.
Fuck that. Decoroni.
No, just test. High test. I'll take all the tests you won't take. How much tests you were on? 1250?
1250. 1250 was good.
That's a bit rich for me at the moment, but let's see. You never know, right?
We'll see. I'll be back.
My blood work is great.
Might end up back on there pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. My blood, I've had it already just in case we wanted to talk about it today, but I'll make a separate video on all the blood work that we did for the growth hormone experiment, the blood work results from that after the cycle that I was on that we explained last time, before and after pictures. I'll do a video. At some point, I'll do a video.
Get off your lazy ass.
Dude, my priority right now is bodybuilding and getting massive and being a good bodybuilder.
And that's why you're coming off for 6 weeks.
Everything else comes secondary to that. So when that's not my priority, like you, then I'll make more content.
All right. The best thing I did for my life was not taking this bodybuilding shit so serious anymore.
Well, in 5 years, I'm
Dude, 7X.
7X what?
Income.
Oh, income. Yeah, well, I'm going for 7X clothing.
Okay.
And then I'll go for 7X income.
All right. Sure.
All right.
Fair enough. Let's wrap it up.
But, this is all the experiments and shit that's going down over the next little while. So,
are we going for blood work before I go to the US?
Probably. Yeah. Why not? Just for fun.
Yeah.
Get bloods for fun. Remember, 30% off of Mode. Use code Aaron or use code Steve.
No, Vigorous. Not Steve. Steve is some other dude.
No, it's. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll just use code Aaron then.
Yeah,
it's easier. Easier to
Mine
remember.
is already cancelled. Yeah.
Easier
Just
to
use
spell.
his code.
Easier to spell.
Yeah,
easier
less
to remember.
letters, less time wasting getting your credit card ready.
I'm also way more broke, so because of all this.
You need
Increlex.
some money for IGF-1 and
Spent it all on growth and Increlex, so please help. That's why I can't go over 5,000 calories.
Yeah,
can't afford to because of all this
spend it on
bloody
drugs.
growth.
Yeah, spend it on drugs.
Yeah,
Right.
It's fun.
That's life.
All right, cool.
Muscle nomads.
Another one done. I don't even know when the last one was, but
A couple of weeks ago.
we'll do another one.
Before we got the Increlex.
Yeah, it
Right.
was. Yeah, a couple of weeks before, I think.
Yeah, before you found this guy.
Maybe 6 weeks ago. 8 weeks, maybe.
It's been a minute. Anyway, we'll try to do one more before I go to the US.
Gains were made.
Yeah.
More gains will be made before the next one, and we'll probably need a wider lens.
Yeah. Shit. I'll get my money ready. Peace out, guys.
Till
See
next
you in the
time.
next one. Take care.